Take your pen. I want you to write a single word at the top of your notes. Write the word peace. Be careful with this. This word will judge every decision you make about a relationship. This one word will sit on the boardroom table of your heart when you are about to say yes and when you are afraid to say no. Write it big, circle it, peace. Now hear the warning. Many of you have been using that word to baptize compromise. You call it peace when it's really relief from conviction. You call it peace when it's lust calming your nerves for a little while. You call it peace when it's your fear of being alone, negotiating a settlement with your standards. I came to protect you. Don't let a beautiful word become a blanket over disobedience. Don't make a pillow out of what was meant to be a plumb line. Peace is not anesthesia for a guilty conscience. Peace is alignment under a king. Let me define it for you. Not sentiment, not numbness, not the absence of butterflies. Peace in the kingdom is order. It is the government of God settling your priorities, setting your boundaries, strengthening your spine. When God is in it, his peace does not make you smaller. It makes you clearer and stronger. It doesn't shrink your voice. It sharpens your judgment. It doesn't excuse your drift. It exposes what's out of place and gives you courage to put it back. That's peace. Say this after me. Peace is not permission to disobey. I can't hear you. Say it again. Peace is not permission to disobey. One more time. Until your soul submits. Peace is not permission to disobey. If you have to violate your values to keep them, that is not peace. It is bondage. Write that line on the word peace and make it a law in your life. Let me test you. To keep them, did you have to hide your phone? To keep them, did you have to lie to your mentor? To keep them, did you have to avoid prayer? Because the light in prayer bothers the darkness in the arrangement. To keep them, did you have to call sin complicated so you could feel better at night? If your yes to them requires a no to God, that is not peace. That is a chain with perfume on it. You are not being comforted, you are being contained. Don't get quiet on me. I love you enough to confront you. Peace is a ruler, not a rug. It doesn't cover mess, it corrects it. It doesn't make you careless, it makes you conscientious. In the kingdom, peace is the order that comes when everything is in its right place under the right authority. Peace will not tell you to cross a boundary God gave you to preserve your dignity. Peace will not ask you to rent your body and mortgage your future. Peace will never whisper just this once while escorting you to shame. Peace stands at the door of your life as a doorkeeper and says, not in here. That's why real peace produces courage. It takes courage to say no when your hormones say yes. It takes courage to walk away when loneliness says stay. It takes courage to confront confusion and demand definition. Peace gives you that courage. Some of you are in settlements, not relationships. You settle because silence felt like peace. You settle because the drama paused. But a quiet storm is still a storm. You can mute the thunder and still be in danger. If you must dim your light to stay, you are not being held, you are being handled. If you must call your standards too much to make them comfortable, you are on your way to slavery with a smile. Do you hear me? Peace is not permission to disobey. I'm going to ask you straight. Are you hiding them from the people who know God's voice in your life? Are you delaying that conversation with your pastor, your counselor, your praying friend, because you already know what the light will show? Are you postponing fasting because you're afraid the appetite for God will expose the appetite for them? If your so-called peace is allergic to light, it is not peace, it is pretense. Real peace survives light. Real peace comes out of prayer louder, not weaker. Real peace makes you more integrous, not more inventive with excuses. And don't you dare let loneliness rename itself peace. I know what it is to hear your own heartbeat in an empty room. But the absence of noise is not the presence of order. The absence of conflict is not the confirmation of God. Some of you prefer predictable dysfunction over courageous obedience. You call it peace because at least you know how the pain will behave. No, peace is not the management of chaos, it is the expulsion of it. And when God's peace is present, you won't need to violate a single value to maintain the relationship. Not one. Write this law across your mind. If keeping them requires losing me, I am not in peace, I am in bondage. If preserving the connection demands I betray my convictions, I am not in love, I am in prison. If I have to negotiate my assignment to maintain their attention, I am not blessed, I am bound. Say with me again, peace is not permission to disobey. Louder. Make your ears hear your mouth. Say it. Peace is not permission to disobey. Here is our foundation. We will not let emotions define sacred words. We will not call bondage a blessing because the chains are satin. We will not call confusion a confirmation because the kiss was amazing. We will not permit desperation to dress up as discernment. We will let the King define his peace, because if we do not define it, we will defend what is destroying us and accuse God's order of being unromantic. Not in this house, not in this season. So set your heart, put the word peace at the gate of every decision. Ask it to judge your text messages, your calendar, your late night visits, your introductions, your explanations. If the peace of God is leading this relationship, you will grow, you will get clearer, you will get stronger. If it is not, you will shrink, you will get foggy, you will get tired. Choose your ruler, choose your freedom. And as we move forward, we're going to expose what pretends to be peace and separate the counterfeit calm from the kingdom order so that your destiny is protected and your love is clean. Now say it one last time, like a covenant with your future. Peace is not permission to disobey. Now lean in. We have to separate the look-alike from the real, because many of you have been hugging a tranquilizer and calling it the Holy Spirit. There are two kinds of peace people live under. One is a calm created by avoidance. The other is order created by authority. Counterfeit peace is the relief you feel when you duck a hard conversation. Counterfeit peace is the exhale that comes after you lower a boundary you knew God gave you. Counterfeit peace is the soft blanket you pull over truth and say, we'll talk later, even though later is just code for never. That is not peace. That is postponement acting like comfort. If the quiet came because you silenced your convictions, you did not find peace, you just turned down the alarm. Write this down. Kingdom peace is order, not a mood government, not butterflies alignment. It is your mind, spirit, purpose, and conduct coming into agreement with God's design. The old word for it is shalom, wholeness, nothing missing, nothing broken, everything in its rightful place under rightful authority. That means kingdom peace has structure, it has sequence, it has definition. It has boundaries that make you bolder, not brave excuses that make you blurrier. When God is leading a relationship, his peace doesn't sedate you, it stabilizes you. It doesn't make you dumb, it makes you decisive. It doesn't make you hide, it makes you honest. Hear the contrast, feel the weight. Counterfeit peace sedates, kingdom peace regulates. Counterfeit peace numbs, kingdom peace orders. Counterfeit peace pacifies, kingdom peace fortifies. Counterfeit peace whispers, don't rock the boat. Kingdom peace says, set the course. Counterfeit peace lowers the lights, kingdom peace turns them on. Counterfeit peace tells you to hush your questions. Kingdom peace equips you to ask better ones. If what you call peace is robbing you of courage and clarity, it is not the kingdom, it is anesthesia. Let me confront a trap that is stealing destinies. Many of you confuse chemistry with peace. Chemistry is enjoyable, peace is employable. Chemistry is attraction, peace is assignment. Chemistry is spark, peace is structure. Chemistry gets you moving fast, peace gets you moving right. You met them and your heart raced good. You are human, but God's peace does not confirm a person because your hormones agree. Attraction is not guidance. Urgency is not confirmation. Infatuation is not instruction. Some of you are sprinting because speed feels like certainty. That's not the spirit. That's your fear dressed in running shoes. Ask yourself, did peace arrive the moment you decided to ignore counsel? Did you feel better after you stopped asking for definition? Did your calm show up when you said, let's not put a label on it, even though your purpose needs labels to allocate time, trust, and energy? If the relief you feel depends on you abandoning structure, that relief is rebellion in a robe. Kingdom peace loves labels because labels create lanes. Friend, dating with intent, engaged, married, these are lanes. Peace brings lanes, so collisions stop. Counterfeit calm removes lanes and says just vibe. No, vibes don't build families, order does. Listen to management. The heart is a corporation. Vision is your mission statement. Values are your policies. Peace is the chief operating officer. When the king's peace is in charge, you get meeting minutes. Where are we? What are we doing? When are we doing it? Who is accountable? You preside. You don't dominate. You preside with wisdom and mutual counsel. Peace will insist on a protocol. When do we call? What do we touch? Who knows about us? What is off limits? How do we resolve conflict? What is the budget? Emotional, financial, spiritual. Counterfeit peace has no protocol, only passion. It flourishes in ambiguity because ambiguity excuses irresponsibility. Say this: kingdom peace brings order. Again, kingdom peace brings order. I can't hear you. Kingdom peace brings order. Why am I drilling this? Because if you don't internalize it, your emotions will keep ordaining counterfeit calm as your spiritual director. The kingdom never gives peace to hide disobedience. The kingdom gives peace to confirm alignment. When it's God, you get bolder in the light. Your appetite for prayer increases, not decreases. Your desire for counsel strengthens, not weakens. You return people's calls. You submit plans to wisdom. You move at the speed of clarity, not the speed of panic. Let me put a red flag on the field. If the so-called peace you feel requires the room to stay dim, the schedule to stay unplanned, and the story to stay unshared with the people who love you and know God, what you have is not peace. It is a truce with deceit. If you must tell your conscience shh to keep the calm, that calm is a cage. The kingdom calm says, tell the truth, and then gives you courage to survive the reaction. That's why real peace produces courage, because order gives you a spine. You can look at a beautiful face and say no, because your boundaries are not negotiable. You can look at a chaotic calendar and say stop, because your assignment is not up for rent. You can look at an urgent text and say later, because your pace is not being set by panic. Let's examine the common counterfeits in your habits. There is a peace that visits you after midnight when the conversation turns suggestive and your standards turn soft. That is not peace. That is adrenaline exiling wisdom. There is a peace that visits when you agree to move in because it just makes sense financially, but your spirit shrinks and your prayer life goes silent. That is not peace. That is convenience choking conviction. There is a peace that shows up when you stop asking, where is this going? Because you're afraid of the answer. That is not peace. That is fear bribing you with a break from anxiety. The king does not bribe you. He leads you. Hear the law again in this frame. Peace does not require you to become less truthful to feel more comfortable. Peace does not require you to become less disciplined to feel more loved. Peace does not require you to become less holy to feel more secure. Peace orders your emotions under your assignment. Peace regulates your calendar under your calling. Peace disciplines your body under your values. That is why when God is truly leading a relationship, your routines improve, your decisions quicken, your communication gets cleaner. You don't wake up exhausted from managing confusion. You wake up focused from managing purpose. I'm going to press one more confusion out of the room. Some of you think the absence of arguments means the presence of peace. No, silence can be purchased for the price of integrity. If you agree to anything to keep the quiet, you are not in peace. You are in probation. Kingdom peace is not afraid of conflict. It is skilled at resolution. It doesn't avoid hard talks. It schedules them. It doesn't reward tantrums. It upholds boundaries. It doesn't need constant apology tours. It establishes consistent behavior. Now, because we have separated counterfeit calm from kingdom order, we can unmask the enemies that keep counterfeits alive. They are familiar. They are seductive. They feed on secrecy and rush In a moment, we will call them by name and put them under light, so your discernment is not deceived by your desire. But settle this in your spirit before we proceed. Kingdom peace is not numbness. It is divine order producing clarity and courage. If it is from God, it will not drug you. It will develop you. If it is led by the King, it will not make you high. It will make you holy. And when that peace sits at the head of your relationship, confusion must leave the room. Now let's do what we said. Write 3 words under peace. Write lust, write pressure, write fear, circle them. Be careful with these because they dress up like comfort and call themselves peace. They show up when you're tired, when you're lonely, when you're flattered, and they say, relax, this is what peace feels like. No, we are going to pull the mask off. Lust is the first imposter. Lust is appetite, demanding access without assignment. Lust wants a harvest from a field it didn't plant. Lust wants benefits without bonding, pleasure without purpose, intimacy without integrity. Lust will negotiate your standards down and call it understanding. It says, don't be so rigid, let's be mature. Mature? No, manipulative. Lust is a lawyer for your lower nature. It argues case after case until your boundaries look like they're on trial. And listen to me, lust never pays tuition. It only collects dividends. It will ask for your body while offering no covering, no counsel, no commitment, no cost. It will sing love songs with no budget for your future. It will apologize in the morning and repeat at night. I am asking you directly, who is asking for access while refusing responsibility? Who wants your time but won't give you a timeline? Who is comfortable touching what they will not protect? Don't look away. Answer your own soul. Pressure is the next imposter. Pressure is urgency dressed as leadership. It rushes intimacy, rushes commitment, rushes secrecy, because pressure hates process and pressure hates light. Pressure says, decide now. Don't overthink it. You're going to ruin the moment. No, you're going to ruin your destiny if you let panic be your planner. Pressure sets deadlines on holiness. It puts a clock on your convictions. If you don't move in by next month, I'm out. That's not peace. That's a hostage situation. If we don't do this now, we're going to miss our window. No, the King who holds times and seasons does not require you to break your boundaries to catch a blessing. Why the hurry? Who benefits from your speed? Who profits when you skip counsel? Who is more comfortable when the room is dim and the questions are late? If the plan cannot survive a calendar, it's not a plan, it's a ploy. Peace can wait, pressure can't. Peace can be reviewed, pressure refuses review. Peace puts things on paper, pressure writes in disappearing ink. And fear, the most sophisticated imposter of them all. Fear of being alone is a prophet of scarcity. It predicts a future God never promised and then bills you for protection. It whispers, you will never find anyone else. You are too old. You are too much. You missed your chance. Then to silence the panic, you tolerate what you should confront. You lower your prices to make insecure buyers feel wealthy. You start calling your red flags nuance just so you don't have to go back to an empty bed. Hear me as a father. Loneliness is real, but it is not a Lord. Loneliness can make you prefer a predictable pain over an unfamiliar peace. It will convince you to babysit immaturity and call it ministry. It will make you subsidize someone's irresponsibility with your future and then invoice you monthly in regret. I'm going to ask a hard one. Is your fear authorizing abuses that your faith would never endorse? Are you keeping a seat at your table for someone who keeps stealing your bread? Let's put the 3 in the light together. Lust needs secrecy to breathe. Pressure needs isolation to operate. Fear needs scarcity to argue. Turn the lights on and watch them choke. Involve counsel and watch them scatter. Open your hand to the King's abundance and watch fear lose its case. This is the law. Anything that needs your fear, your secrecy, or your lust to survive is not God's peace. Say it with me. Anything that needs my fear, my secrecy, or my lust to survive is not God's peace. Louder, I can't hear you. Again, until your emotions submit. Now I'm going to step into your living room. Who benefits from your compromise? Name them. Who profits from your silence? Who keeps their access while your purpose pays the bill? Who is asking you to shrink so they can feel tall? Who gets nervous when you say, I need to talk to my pastor, my mentor, my counselor? Who makes jokes about your standards to soften them? Who only texts after midnight but never offers daylight definition? Who says, why do we need a title? We know what we are, because labels create lanes and lanes create accountability. Who pushes for privacy as if holiness is a security risk? Answer me. Are you paying for their comfort with your calling? Are you donating your peace to fund their confusion? Don't get quiet on me. I love you. That's why I am pressing. Lust will always call your boundary religious. Pressure will always call your patience fear. Fear will always call your standards unrealistic. That is how imposters survive, by rebranding your virtue as a vice. But truth has another name for it: bondage. If you must sin to keep the smile, that is bondage. If you must lie to maintain the calm, that is bondage. If you must disappear to yourself to keep them visible in your life, that is bondage. And bondage can be beautiful for a season. It wears cologne, it buys dinners, it writes poetry, but it sends invoices in installment plans called shame. Let me give you the courtroom rhythm. Under cross-examination, what happens when you pray? Does your peace grow or does it go quiet? What happens when you fast? Do you crave God more or do you crave them more? What happens when you bring the relationship into the light with trusted counsel? Do you get bolder or do you get busy with excuses? What happens when you hold to your boundaries? Do they respect you more or do they punish you with distance to train you through withdrawal? What happens when you say no kindly? Do you get a plan or do you get a pout? What happens when you demand definition? Do you receive clarity or do you receive chaos? I'm cross-examining your calm. Real peace can handle the witness stand. Let's define this like managers, because your life is a corporation and you are not running a carnival. Lust is a cost center with no revenue. It spends your time, your purity, your focus, and returns you nothing but memories you have to heal from. Pressure is a rogue manager bypassing the board, signing contracts you haven't read. Fear is a doomsday consultant forecasting bankruptcy, so you sell your assets cheap, fire them. The king's peace is the COO. It will ask for minutes, milestones, metrics. It will require job descriptions, friend, courtship, engagement, so everyone knows their lane. Peace will insist on reporting who knows, who covers, who counsels. Peace will approve budgets, time, touch, talk. Peace will cancel projects that burn cash and produce no fruit. Now, let me protect you from a clever lie. Some of you have been told love is messy. That line becomes a license for lust, pressure, and fear to pitch tents in your life. Yes, human hearts are complex, but kingdom peace is not chaos with a soundtrack. Peace does not reward tantrums. Peace does not tolerate manipulation. Peace does not sign non-disclosure agreements to cover disobedience. Peace will not hide in hotel rooms and post scriptures in the morning. Peace refuses to be a cover-up. Peace demands light. This is where we begin to see the difference. And I want you to feel the oxygen return to your chest. God's peace behaves like a guardian. It produces clarity, so your words match your reality. It produces courage, so your no is not a negotiation. It produces clean boundaries, so access follows honor, not appetite. Peace protects your pace. It refuses to be rushed. Peace protects your assignment. It refuses to be sidelined. Peace protects your integrity. It refuses to be rented out for romance. And peace refuses secrecy that smells like sin. It loves privacy that honors dignity, but it rejects secrecy that hides disobedience. Do you see the difference? Privacy is wisdom. Secrecy is wickedness. Peace knows the difference and chooses light. So we agree on this covenant law in this house. Anything that needs your fear, your secrecy, or your lust to survive is not God's peace. Say it again. I can't hear you. One more time until your future believes you. And when those imposters knock tonight, lust with its discounts, pressure with its deadlines, fear with its forecasts, you will recognize their voice and refuse their terms. Because the next move we make will not be from panic, it will be from the king's order. We are about to follow peace to our destiny. And where peace leads, imposters lose their power. Now, because we have exposed the frauds, I want you to recognize the real by its signature. Write this word down, signature. Be careful with it. Signature means the sign of the nature, the mark of the author. Peace carries the king's autograph. When God is leading, there is a signature, and it is never confusion. Under his hand, direction becomes simpler, not more complicated. Your next step is not fog, it is focus. Say this with me. Peace has a signature. Again, peace has a signature. I can't hear you. Peace has a signature. Let me define the first mark. Clarity. When peace is present, you can explain what you're doing without twisting language, hiding facts, or fearing questions from wise people. Clarity is the ability to say in one breath who we are, where we are going, why we are going there, and who knows about it. No gymnastics. No, it's complicated. No, we're just vibing. Peace gives you nouns and verbs, not smoke and mirrors. If you need dim lights, selective screenshots, and late night only conversations to feel safe, that's not clarity, that's camouflage. Under the signature of peace, you can introduce the relationship to light, mentors, pastors, parents, accountability, without rehearsing a cover story on the way. Test it right now. If I gave you a microphone and said, state your relationship status and strategy, could you do it with clean sentences? Could you say it in front of your counselor, your little sister, and your future self without editing adjectives? Could your calendar agree with your mouth? Would your transactions agree with your testimony? Clarity does not tremble when wisdom asks questions. Clarity knows what to call it. Friend, courtship, with intent, engagement, marriage. Titles are not controlled, they are lanes. Lanes prevent collisions. Peace loves lanes. Second mark, courage. Peace does not remove hard conversations. It gives you the spine to have them without losing yourself. Under God's peace, you do not become passive, you become principled. Courage means you can schedule difficult dialogue and still be kind. Courage means you can say no without needing to be the villain or make them the devil. Courage means you ask necessary questions before you sign emotional contracts. What are we building? What is the timeline? Who is our counsel? How do we resolve conflict? What is off limits and who enforces it? If peace is in you, you do not apologize for clarity. You do not negotiate your dignity to maintain access. You do not accept rage, tears, or silence as governance. Peace puts your emotions under management so truth can be spoken in love without being drowned by panic. Let me ask you directly. Do you avoid the talk that brings truth because you dread the reaction? Do you bribe yourself with later so you can borrow calm today? Do you whisper convictions hoping no one asks for definition? That's not peace, that's a muzzle. Peace gives you a voice. It puts iron in your sentences. It empowers you to say, I care about you, but this is the order we will live by. It trains you to keep your character even when their feelings flare. Courage under peace says, I will not be trained by tantrums. I will be guided by truth. Third mark, and this one is where holiness becomes practical. Clean boundaries. Peace is not just a feeling in your chest. It is a fence around your life. Write this down. Boundaries are holiness with a schedule. They are the will not that protect the will be. Peace makes you specific. What we will not do, where we will not go, what we will not entertain. You set budgets, time, touch, talk. You set curfews, how late, how long, how often. You set spaces, public over private, for a season. Counsel before corners. Dates with purpose over drifting with pressure. You set digital dignity, no disappearing messages, no secret accounts, no suggestive content disguised as jokes. You set relational witnesses, people who know, who can ask, who can see. Peace does not fear proof, it invites it. I'm going to inspect your fences. Who holds you accountable for your physical boundaries? Where's your documented plan for escalation and restraint? When do you debrief conflicts and by what rules? Who is your covering and do they have permission to intervene? If you cannot answer, You don't have boundaries. You have hopes. Hopes are not fences. Peace will make you write it down. Peace will put it on the calendar. Peace will say that door stays closed until covenant opens it. And listen to me carefully. God's peace doesn't make you careless. It makes you courageous and clean. Say it again, louder so your appetite can hear you. God's peace doesn't make me careless. It makes me courageous and clean. Now let me shift you from mood to mechanism. Peace is not just a feeling. It is a function. Think management. Peace is the operations manual of the relationship under the king's government. It verifies purpose, not just romance. Romance can warm the room. Purpose assigns the work. Peace asks, how does this union advance assignment? Peace audits schedules. Are we serving vision or just serving emotions? Peace audits spending. Are we generous, wise, debt discipline? Or are we financing lust and calling it love? Peace audits conversations. Are we sharpening each other's convictions or soothing each other's compromises? Peace audits community. Are we isolated by design or integrated by wisdom? Peace stamps approve on alignment, not on adrenaline. I want to talk to your future for a moment. When peace is functioning, you become more employable to destiny. Your mornings have order. Your evenings have limits. Your weekends have purpose. You are not dodging calls from people who love you. You are inviting them to check the plan. You're not hiding receipts. You are building budgets. You are not deleting threads. You are documenting growth. You are not postponing prayer. You are punctuating progress with prayer. Peace as function makes excellence normal. It turns I feel into we agreed. It turns I hope into we scheduled. It turns I think into we decided under counsel. Let me be a father and ask you what your Father in heaven would ask. If peace walked into your relationship today wearing a uniform, what would it find? A mission statement or a mixtape of memories? A calendar of counsel or a diary of apologies? Job descriptions or vague promises? Guardrails or good intentions? If the answer embarrasses you, I did not come to condemn you, I came to recalibrate you. You can choose peace today. You can put its signature on your life by embracing clarity, walking in courage, establishing clean boundaries, and letting peace function as governor, not garnish. So here is your action while the word is still warm. Write down your definition and direction. Title it, name the lane, share it with the people who keep you honest. Schedule the hard talk you have avoided and put truth on the table with humility, not hostility. Build your boundary plan, curfews, context, counselors, communication rules, and sign it together. Submit your plan to light. Give your mentor, your spiritual authority, and your future self permission to question you. And commit this line to memory until it becomes your reflex. God's peace doesn't make you careless, it makes you courageous and clean. Say it again, I can't hear you. One more time, until your body and your calendar agree. God's peace doesn't make me careless, it makes me courageous and clean. And from this moment on, if a relationship complicated your direction, clouded your language, silenced your courage, or smeared your boundaries, you will know this is not the king's signature. We follow the signature. We submit to its order. We embrace its courage. We guard its cleanliness, because where peace leads, confusion must pack its bags, and your destiny will not be delayed by emotions pretending to be God. Write this word down. Purpose. Be careful with it. Purpose means why you exist, your assignment, your mandate, your lane in the kingdom. Now write this other word under it. Passion. Passion is energy, appetite, fire. Hear me, as a father, attraction is not a covenant. Chemistry is not a calling. Passion is not a plan. Say it again. One more time so your hormones can hear you. Attraction is not a covenant. Chemistry is not a calling. Passion is not a plan. Peace always sides with purpose before it entertains passion. Peace asks, does this relationship multiply assignment? Not does this relationship multiply butterflies. Let me define something, and I want you to feel the guardrails go up inside you. The king never sends a helper to cancel the assignment. He sends a helper to help it. Assistance that arrests your mission is not assistance, it is interference. When God's peace is leading a relationship, you become more disciplined, not more distracted. You become more consistent, not more chaotic. You become more aligned, not more available to everything and focused on nothing. Peace increases your prayer and your planning. Lust increases your panic and your postponing. Peace makes you early for destiny. Pressure makes you late for everything that matters and early for everything that doesn't. I'm going to ask you managerial questions because your life is not a carnival. It is a corporation, and destiny is your board. Since this relationship began, did your prayer life strengthen or did it shrink? Are you closer to God or further? More honest or more secretive? Are you building or just feeling? Are you submitting decisions to counsel or downloading justifications to your journal? Are your mornings clearer, or do they begin with cleaning up last night's confusion? Did you add study, service, generosity to your calendar, or did you add cover stories, late night negotiations, and apologies? Tell the truth. Who hired the snooze button for your devotion, and who fired your commitment to your assignment? Let me walk in your schedule. Who convinced you that Sunday was our only day, so they kidnapped your Sabbath and called it romance? Who looked at your rehearsal, your practice, your study group, and said, why do you need all that? We got us, as if us is a replacement for obedience. Who calls your mentor controlling because counsel threatens their access? Who mocks your fast as doing the most because hunger for God exposes their hunger for you? I love you. That's why I am asking, who profits when your purpose pauses? Name them. Because peace doesn't profit from your pause. Peace invests in your progress. Now hear the revelation. Peace is a project manager. It sets milestones for your calling and then insists that your relationships respect those milestones. Peace will schedule your study time and defend it. Peace will put alerts on your purity and guard it. Peace will budget your emotions, so generosity to vision is funded and drama is defunded. Peace will not compete with your assignment, it will coordinate with it. That means the right person will not ask you to skip preparation to satisfy passion. They will say, do your work. I'll wait, I'll pray, I'll serve, I'll protect the perimeter while you build. If they grieve every hour you invest in your calling, they are not in covenant with your future, only with their moment. Let me give you a picture to live by. Purpose is the runway. Passion is the jet fuel. If you pour fuel without a runway, you don't fly, you explode. Peace is the control tower. It establishes order. What lifts when it lifts, and what has permission to land in your life. When peace is in charge, the plane doesn't taxi without clearance. So I'm asking you, who cleared this takeoff in your soul? Who gave landing rights to a relationship that cannot spell your assignment? Who sits in your control tower making weather reports of fear and delays of manipulation? Fire them. Put peace back in the tower. Some of you are calling exhaustion romance. You think the dizzy feeling is love when it is actually disorientation. A relationship that steals your focus, empties your patience, downgrades your excellence, and requires you to fake your faith to keep the calm is not peaceful in the kingdom. It is parasitic. Parasites don't hate you. They simply love themselves more than your future. They will keep you impressive on Instagram and invisible to destiny. They will keep you available to their appetite and absent from your assignment. That's not peace. That's bondage with perfume. Let me cross-examine your calendar and your conscience. Do you pray more now, or do you talk about praying more later? Do you tell cleaner truths now, or do you manage optics with crafted half statements? Are you writing, building, training, serving, or are you strolling, cuddling, and calling that connection while your dream starves? Has your giving increased, or has your spending on secrecy gone up? Are you on time to the places that shape your future? Or are you consistently late because your night belonged to arguments, passion, or patch-up conversations? When you are with them, do you leave inspired to obey, or rehearsing how to explain disobedience? Don't get quiet on me, answer your own soul. Real peace can handle audits. Let me establish a hierarchy for your heart. Passion must become your employee. Purpose must remain your employer. Chemistry can be a consultant. Calling must sign the contracts. Attraction can be a signal. Assignment is the system. When this order is right, passion is powerful because it has a job description. It warms, it energizes, it motivates, but it does not manage. Peace writes the policy. No appointment with passion until purpose has checked the calendar. And when purpose speaks, passion says, yes, sir. I'm going to protect you from a flattery trap. Some of you have been intoxicated by someone who claps for you but won't carry anything with you. They adore your gift but avoid your grind. They want ringside seats to your influence but won't stack chairs in your process. That is not help. That is hype. Hype can't handle heat. The day your assignment demands sacrifice, hype will ask for a refund. Peace will ask for a shovel. Peace will put on work clothes. Peace will say, what does your week require? When is your study? Who do I report to if we drift? Peace submits to mission. It loves you by loving what God puts you on earth to do. Listen carefully. If the relationship makes you abandon your assignment, it is not led by God's peace. Say it again. Louder. If the relationship makes me abandon my assignment, it is not led by God's peace. Now ask yourself, what did I stop doing to keep them comfortable? Did I stop serving, stop studying, stop giving, stop mentoring, stop accountability? Who received the offering you once gave to your calling? Peace will never accept that trade. Peace will return the idol and restore the altar. I want to give you an action plan because revelation without application produces condemnation. Write your top 3 assignments, your divine responsibilities in this season. Put them on paper. Spiritual formation, vocation excellence, family stewardship, whatever the King has charged you with. Next, write how a relationship must serve each assignment in practical terms. Prayer partnership, study windows protected, community involvement increased, budget alignment toward generosity and debt discipline. Then ask one courageous question to the person who has access to your heart. Will you submit to this order with me? Not do you like me, not do you feel me, but will you serve this? If they negotiate your assignment down, you have your answer. If they mock the plan or fear the light, you have your answer. If they say, yes, and here is how I will help, peace just sign the page. As we close this layer, I want to anchor your reflex. God's peace doesn't make you careless. It makes you courageous and clean. Courageous enough to prioritize purpose. Clean enough to refuse passion that demands secrecy. Courageous enough to say, not tonight, I have preparation. Clean enough to say, not there, we honor boundaries. And when you feel that all fear whispering scarcity, remember, the King never needs you to betray assignment to receive affection. Real love will help you report to duty. Fake love will demand you call in sick. Now we're going to turn the diamond and look at character, because purpose without integrity becomes performance. The next measure of peace is this: God never gives peace to cover disobedience. Peace is confirmation of alignment, not anesthesia for compromise. But before we go there, settle this law in your spirit and say it until it governs your choices. Purpose before passion, assignment before attraction. And if it makes me abandon my assignment, it is not the peace of God. Peace is confirmation of alignment, not anesthesia for compromise. Say it again. One more time so your memories can hear you. Peace is confirmation of alignment, not anesthesia for compromise. Now write this word down: integrity. Be careful with it. Integrity comes from the idea of integer one, whole, undivided. Integrity means you are the same person in the light and in the dark. It means no duplicate files, no alternate versions, no secret settings. Peace and integrity are married. Wherever you see God's peace, you will find a life that is integrated. One story, one standard, one self. Let me clear a dangerous lie. Many of you call it peace when you finally decide to do what you wanted all along. You say, I feel so much better now, as if relief is righteousness. No. You only feel calm because you stopped contending with your conviction and surrendered to your appetite. That is not divine peace. That is the absence of internal debate while you drift away from your assignment. Real peace does not arrive because you silence your conscience. Real peace arrives because your choices match your convictions. Peace is not the hush of rebellion. Peace is the harmony of obedience. I am going to father you with definitions. Peace never needs a disguise. Peace does not require you to rename sin struggle, or rename secrecy privacy, or rename disobedience process. Peace will never ask you to keep 2 phones, 2 stories, 2 schedules. Peace is consistent with God's commands and your clean convictions. When you must become a different person to protect the relationship, professional in public, permissive in private, you do not have peace, you have performance. And performers are exhausted because costumes are heavy. God did not send his peace to help you act. He sent it to help you align. Let me walk right into your rationalizations. And don't get quiet on me. We're not perfect. I know. That is why grace exists, to empower change, not excuse cycles. If we're not perfect becomes your coupon to purchase one more night of compromise, you have counterfeited grace. God understands. Yes, he does. He understands. You are editing his standards to protect your appetite. We're grown. Exactly. Grown people are accountable, not more creative with cover stories. Nobody's being hurt. Your future is. Your clarity is. Your courage is. And the day you need faith to rise, you will find it weakened by the weight of the secrets you normalized. Cross-examination time. What value did you violate to keep them from leaving? Write it down. What boundary did you remove because the pressure felt romantic? What standard did you edit to make the moment easier? Which mentor did you stop calling because their questions were too precise? Which scripture did you mute because it contradicted your arrangement? Which curfew moved? Which door reopened? Which budget line converted from mission to moods? Who did you have to lie to, your pastor, your parents, your future self, to maintain the appearance of peace? Do not flinch. Real peace can handle an audit. I want to help you separate relief from righteousness. Relief says, at least we're okay right now. Righteousness asks, are we aligned with truth right now? Relief negotiates with appetite. Righteousness agrees with assignment. Relief is temporary anesthesia. Righteousness is durable health. Many of you numb your conscience and call that calm the peace of God. But anesthesia is not healing. It is a pause on pain while the problem continues. God does not drug you to ignore disobedience. He delivers you into order, so obedience becomes your normal. I'm going to define integrity again, because some of you need a strong offense. Integrity is sameness under scrutiny. If your story evaporates under light, it was not peace holding it together, it was secrecy. If your calm collapses when prayer starts, it was not peace, it was pretense. If you have to rush to delete, to explain, to preempt questions with flattery, that is not the Spirit's fruit. It is anxiety managing optics. Peace survives wisdom. Peace strengthens under counsel. Peace loves the light because it has nothing to hide and nothing to rehearse. Now I know what you tell yourself. We'll fix it later. Later is not a strategy. It is a stall. We love God. Love for God produces obedience, not sophisticated explanations. At least we pray together. Praying over rebellion is not consecration, it is negotiation. But the chemistry is fire. Without a fireplace of covenant and order, fire burns the house. Stop asking God to bless a blaze you refuse to contain. He gives peace where there is a hearth of holiness, a structure, a boundary, a plan. Let me press the courtroom a little more. Who is your compliance officer? If you were a corporation and you are, who verifies that your practices match your policies? The word is your policy manual. Your conscience, renewed by the Spirit, is the internal auditor. Your mentors and godly community are the board of directors. Peace sits as chief operations officer. If peace were to present a report today, would it show alignment or anomalies? Would it identify repeated violations, labeled exceptions, flirty invoices paid with "I'm sorry," and travel to places your convictions never approved. Do not tell me about your feelings. Show me your records. Peace is proven by order and obedience, not by goosebumps and playlists. Hear me as a protector of your destiny. Anything that demands you dilute your standards to keep them is not love, it is leverage. If staying requires self-betrayal, you are not in peace. You are in bondage dressed as romance. Peace will never bill you for your purity. Peace will never ask you to mortgage your integrity for short-term company. Peace stands with your future and says, we will not trade covenant for chemistry. We will not trade clarity for comfort. We will not trade calling for cuddling. So what do we do when we catch ourselves anesthetized? Repent fast and repair thoroughly. Repentance is not tears, it is a turn. Turn the phone off that trains your appetite. Turn the car around that leads to compromise. Turn the budget back to generosity and mission. Turn the calendar back to counsel, to prayer, to service. Confess to the light you have been avoiding the mentor, the pastor, the friend who loves your destiny more than your approval. Restore the boundary you negotiated. Reinstall the curfew you canceled. Rewrite the policy you edited in the dark. And do not do it alone. Peace works through order, and order is a team sport. I want to challenge your language. Stop saying we can manage it. You don't manage disobedience, you eliminate it. Stop saying it's complicated. Complication is often camouflage. When God's peace arrives, language cleans up. Yes is yes, no is no. This is sin, this is holy, this we stop, this we start. Peace will not join your gray zones. Peace will draw lines in black and white because destinies are lost in the gray. I am not being harsh. I am being your father. Confusion is not a romantic mystery. It is a warning siren. Now lean in, because I am moving you from morality to management. God's peace is not only moral, it is managerial and orderly. Peace does not just make you clean, it makes you clear. It schedules obedience. It installs structures that protect obedience. It defines who decides what, when decisions are made, how conflicts are resolved, who can intervene when drift begins. Peace sets up governance for love. It writes roles, timelines, checkpoints, escalation paths. Because without order, your good intentions will be swallowed by old appetites. Without order, your apology becomes your liturgy. So I am going to ask you policy questions as we prepare to build. Who owns the calendar of this relationship? Who has veto power when passion conflicts with purpose? Where is your dispute resolution protocol written? And which counselor is assigned to mediate? When are your accountability reviews? And what metrics, time, truth, touch, talk are you tracking? Who can call a timeout if the atmosphere turns manipulative? If you cannot answer, peace is not managing you, emotions are. And emotions make terrible managers. They overhire impulse and lay off wisdom. Settle it now. Peace is God's confirmation of alignment, not your anesthesia for compromise. If you had to violate your values to keep them, that is not peace, it is bondage. If you had to split into two people to sustain the romance, that is not peace, it is performance under pressure. If your so-called calm flees when counsel knocks, that is not peace, it is a truce with your flesh. But if you will embrace integrity, one self, one story, one standard, peace will return like a governor to your house and put everything back under management. We are about to put this relationship under kingdom protocol, because where peace leads, confusion must leave. In a moment, we will design order definitions, boundaries, communication rules, so your love has a structure that honors God and protects destiny. But before we build the system, seal this in your heart and say it until it manages your choices. Peace is my confirmation of alignment. It will never be my anesthesia for compromise. And from this day, I choose integrity over image, alignment over adrenaline, order over excuses, so the peace of God can sit in the manager's chair and govern my love. Write this word down. Order. Be careful with it. Order is arrangement according to assignment. Order is the architecture of peace. Peace is the foreman. Order is the blueprint. And clarity is the building that stands. Say it with me. When peace leads, confusion leaves. Again, louder. When peace leads, confusion leaves. Peace does not float around as a feeling. It builds definition. It answers 3 questions without stuttering. What are we? Where are we going? What are we building? When the king brings peace into a relationship, he brings structure, roles, rhythms, rules. So love has a place to live. Love without order is a squatter. It occupies your emotions without paying rent to your destiny. Let me define it like a manager. Order means definition. Definition means titles and timelines. Titles, what are we? Are we acquaintances? Courting under counsel? Engaged? Covenant? Not vibes, definition. Timelines. When do we decide? By what criteria? With whose input? Not we'll see, definition. Order means visibility. Who knows? Who covers? Who can intervene? Not hiding in the shadows and calling it privacy. Order means policy. How we communicate, where we go, how we handle conflict, how we protect time and bodies. Not improvisation masquerading as romance. When peace is present, it will draft policies, because your future must be protected by more than apologies. Confusion is expensive, and some of you are paying tuition to a school that never graduates you. Confusion will charge you emotional whiplash today. Your soulmates. Tomorrow you are strangers rehearsing scripts for closure that never closes. Confusion will charge you wasted time, months looped around the same argument, the same tears, the same we'll do better, without any system to make better possible. Confusion will charge you trust deficits. You begin to doubt your own discernment because you subsidize instability. Confusion will charge your body interest. You cannot afford boundaries eroded by pressure, then shame, then more pressure to feel close again. And when the bill arrives, it is not just heartbreak, it is delay. Destiny hates delay. Peace refuses to fund it. So let's define healthy order so you have something to build. First, clear intentions. Intentions are not poetry, they are proposals. This is my aim, this is my pace, this is my process, and these are the authorities I submit to while we build. If someone wants your heart but will not sign their name under intent, they want a benefit package without a job description. Second, consistent communication, not obsessive surveillance. Consistent, honest cadence. When will we talk? How will we talk? What goes in writing when emotions are high? Which topics are off limits to late night debates because fatigue breeds foolishness? Third, accountable pacing, not rushed by lust, not stalled by fear. Pacing tied to milestones, character assessments, counsel sessions, service together, financial transparency. So movement requires maturity, not mood. Fourth, respect for time and body. Time, Sabbath is not a hostage. Study is not negotiable. Service is not optional. Body boundaries are not maybe, they are management. We choose environments that protect virtue. We keep doors open to light. We resign from locations that inflame weakness. If you need secrecy to maintain warmth, you are heating the house with a gas leak. Cross-examination time. Do not get quiet on me. Do they disappear and reappear like a weather pattern, expecting your climate to adjust to their storm? Do you live on maybe and we'll see, while your assignments starve, waiting for decisions? Do you need chaos to feel love, fights to feel passion, distance to feel pursuit, apologies to feel intimacy? Who told you consistency was boring? Consistency is holy. Do you have to trigger a crisis to get a text back? Do they respect your calendar, or do they treat your devotion like a competitor? When you draw a line, do they honor it or test it to measure your price? And you be honest, do you sabotage peace because confusion feels like attention? When peace arrives, drama loses its job. Can you handle a relationship that does not need a fire to feel alive? Let me father you through some protocols. You need a definition meeting, not just a date night. Set it. What are we? What are our milestones? Who are our counselors? What are our non-negotiables? What is our budget for growth? You need a communication standard. We respond within these windows. We do not weaponize silence. We do not discuss covenant level topics in text threads. You need pacing gates. No escalation without evaluation. No private trips without public plans. No new intimacies without new accountability. You need a physical boundary document. Yes, a document. Here are the places we do not go, the times we do not meet, the lines we do not cross. You need a conflict protocol. When tension rises, we pause, we pray, we write, we bring in counsel. If we circle the same mountain twice, you need visibility. This relationship is not a secret. These mentors have permission to ask anything. These friends can pull a break. Peace will not be offended by this. It will be relieved. Order is oxygen to peace. I can hear some of you, that sounds controlling. No, it is controlling the chaos that has been controlling you. But what about spontaneity? Spontaneity survives in structures. It dies in confusion. A jazz musician improvises on a scale. The boundaries make the beauty possible. When people resist definition, ask what they profit from your confusion. Hidden schedules, multiple options, access without accountability. Your silence is their salary. When peace sits in the manager's chair, everyone's role becomes clear and hidden agendas suffocate. Let me give you an org chart so you can picture this. God is the owner and ultimate authority. His word is the policy manual. Your conscience, renewed by the Spirit, is the internal auditor. Your mentors and spiritual community are the board of directors. In the relationship, peace is the operations manager, purpose is the project manager, passion is the energy department. It does not set strategy. You two are staff. Staff does not rewrite policy because it prefers comfort. Staff follows procedure because the company, your destiny, matters more than your mood. Now, shift with me from the relationships order to personal order, because you cannot build a structured house with disordered bricks. Peace is not only about us, it is about who you are when nobody is clapping. Show me their daily disciplines. Do they keep promises to themselves? Devotion, exercise, budget, study. If they betray themselves quietly, they will betray agreements publicly. Do they manage time or do they chase adrenaline? Look at their morning chaos or cadence. Look at their money. Do they finance impressions or invest in assignment? Look at their words. Do they say, I'll call and then disappear? I'm on my way while still in bed. Look at their environment, their car, their room, their digital life. Order is not perfection. Order is pattern. Patterns preach louder than posts. Ask harder questions. Can they hear no without punishing you with distance? Can they apologize without creating a new crisis 2 days later to reset the scoreboard? Can they submit to counsel that disagrees with them, or do they shop for opinions that baptize their bias? When they are under pressure, do they reach for prayer, or do they reach for people who will help them forget? When they are tempted, do they call the light, or do they draw the curtains? Peace lives well in a life that already honors order. Marrying chaos and hoping covenant will make it tidy is like renting a room to a hurricane and asking it to be careful with the curtains. I'm going to guard your future with a few more diagnostics, and I want you to write them down. Do they keep employment or do they keep excuses? Do they honor leaders or rehearse grievances? Do they serve anywhere? Or are they tourists of community, always visiting, never building? Do they budget generosity or only splurge on themselves? Do they have friends who tell them the truth, or only fans who enjoy the show? Peace can partner with a person like that, because order in the person becomes order in the partnership. So what do we do now? We install order today, not next month, today. Draft your definition, publish your boundaries, appoint your board, set your cadence, schedule your reviews, protect your Sabbath, reserve your study. Budget your mission and declare this policy over your feelings. Where peace leads, confusion leaves. Say it again. One more time. Until your old addiction to drama surrenders. Where peace leads, confusion leaves. God's peace brings definition. Confusion is not a romantic mystery. It is a warning. Heed the warning and build the walls. And as you build, remember this: clarity does not kill love, it protects it. Boundaries do not suffocate passion, they give it a safe fireplace. Order does not make you rigid, it makes you reliable. Peace is not the absence of motion, it is motion under management. From this moment, I choose order over impulse, policy over pressure, definition over drifting. I refuse to fund confusion with my time, my body, my testimony. If they cannot walk in the light, they cannot walk with my future. If they will not sign the plan, they cannot hold the pen to my destiny. Peace is leading now, and because peace leads, confusion must leave. Write this word down. Fruit. Be careful with it. Fruit is the visible result of an invisible root. Fruit is what a life produces without a microphone. The king taught us, you know, a tree by its fruit, not by its shade, not by its flowers. Fruit. Peace has fruit. Peace leaves patterns. Peace produces predictability. And I want you to hear me. As a father, peace is proven by fruit, not by romance and apologies. Say it again. Louder so your excuses can hear you. Peace is proven by fruit, not by romance and apologies. Let's define fruit in kingdom terms. Fruit is measurable, repeatable outcomes that match the seed called character. Fruit is consistency. Fruit is provision. Fruit is protection. Fruit is not vibes and playlists. Fruit is not we made up again. Fruit is not they texted good morning with a heart. Fruit is the resume of reality over time. You can fake passion, you cannot fake patterns. Patterns tell the truth. Now here are the pillars. Provision and protection are the twin proofs of kingdom love. Provision is not just money, it is making sure what you love is resourced, served, and strengthened. Protection is not just bodyguard presence. It is shielding what you love from shame, from confusion, from unnecessary pressure. Provision covers needs. Protection covers name. Provision says, I brought what builds. Protection says, I blocked what breaks. If they are asking for the privileges of covenant without providing or protecting, they are not a partner. They are a consumer. Consumers love benefits. Partners love burdens. I am going to interrogate your relationship like a board meeting. Do not get quiet on me. Are they consistent? Not occasionally impressive, consistently reliable. Do they call when they said they would call? Do they arrive when they said they would arrive? If they miss, do they inform you early and honor your time the next day? Or do they hand you apologies like coupons, cheap and expiring? Are they accountable? To whom? Name them. Not God and me, who can correct them and get compliance, not just complaints. Are they building or borrowing? Do they bring tools, plans, counsel, prayer, provision? Or do they borrow your stability, your contacts, your car, your clarity, and then invoice you with flattery? Are they protecting your name? When they are not in the room with you, are they in the room for you? Do they allow jokes, gossip, innuendo about you to ride in their presence, or do they defend your honor with clean truth and boundaries? Are they careful with your story, or are you content for table talk? Do they protect your purity, or do they put you in environments where your boundaries are always the villain and their appetite is always the hero? If your peace requires you to explain away constant disrespect, you do not have peace, you have PR. Provision, let's broaden it. Do they provide emotional safety? Can you tell the truth without being punished by mood swings, silent treatment, or threats of leaving? Do they provide truthful leadership, not domineering, directional? Can they set a pace that respects God, work, rest, and relationship without making you the counterweight for their chaos? Do they provide practical care, food in the fridge when you are on deadline, a ride when your car is down, a plan when life throws a storm? Or do they arrive with flowers after the storm and call it love? Flowers are not a roof. Apologies are not a plan. Do they provide consistent support, showing up at the service project, not just the selfie spot? Asking about your assignment and rearranging to help you keep it, not demanding you abandon it to keep them calm. I want to talk to the counterfeit man and the counterfeit woman that may be renting space in your life. The counterfeit wants access without accountability, attention without assignment, intimacy without intercession, and benefits without budget. The counterfeit will preach poetry while defaulting on duty. The counterfeit loves the language of together and hates the labor of responsible. The counterfeit will call you my future while mortgaging your present with lies. And if you confront them about fruit, they will throw a parade of emotions, tears, gifts, trips, posts, anything to avoid an audit of outcomes. Let's run the audit. Are they consistent? Circle yes or no. Do they keep employment? Not perfect jobs. Pattern of work, growth, humility, teachability. Do they manage money or do they romance debt? Do they tithe, give, and budget with integrity, or does generosity only show up when it buys your silence? Are they protectors? When someone flirts with your boundary, do they shut the door or leave it cracked? When temptation knocks on their phone, do they delete it and call for help? Or do they hide behind passcodes and new apps? Do they guard your time? Or do they book you at midnight and cancel you at noon? Do they steward your body? Or do they pressure your body and then blame your boundary for making them feel rejected? Love does not make you a lawbreaker. Peace will never invoice your purity. Are they builders? Builders bring solutions. Do they identify recurring problems and draft policy? Or do they live in the sentimental loop? Sin, sorry, sex, silence, repeat. Do they serve anywhere? If they will not serve there, they will not serve here. Service is fruit. Responsibility is fruit. Submission to counsel is fruit. If every mentor who challenges them becomes judgmental, your relationship has a predator, the ego, and it will eat your peace. Let me protect you with pictures. A tree heavy with fruit does not have to shout. You look, you see it. A relationship heavy with peace does not need a public relations campaign. The fruit does the talking. Steady communication, clean boundaries, stable schedules, financial honesty, protective language, covenant with community. Fruit is seasonal, but even in winter you can see a healthy tree pruned, rooted, watered, standing. So do not tell me we're in a rough patch while the root system is dead. Rough patches still show sap. Dead trees only show nostalgia. I can feel your pushback, but we love each other. I know love is holy, but love without fruit is theory without practice. We're working on it. Good, let me see the work. Where's the plan? Who is the counselor? What are the dates? What are the deliverables? They said they'll do better. Better has a budget and a calendar. They brought me a gift. Gifts are gratitude, not governance. Show me governance. I am about to lean heavier. Provision and protection test the motives of passion. Passion says, I want you. Provision says, I am ready to serve you. Protection says, I will stand between you and harm. Which voice is louder in them, in you? Some of you have normalized predation and called it passion. If they only show up when your clothes are soft and your convictions are tired, you have hired a thief as a tenant. Evict them with evidence. These are the metrics. These are the misses. These are the months we talked about it. This is the counsel we skipped. This is the pressure you apply. This is the boundary you broke. Tenant, your lease is up. Let me hand you a checklist the Spirit can sign. Consistency, weekly cadence of communication, honored without games, provision, calendar help, assignment support, prayer covering, practical service, protection, guarding name, guarding body, guarding time, guarding focus. Accountability, named mentors, scheduled check-ins, samples of submission where they change because wisdom spoke. Responsibility, employment or enterprise with honesty, bills paid or plans made, generosity to others, not just to you. If most boxes are empty, stop calling it peace. Call it what it is. Expensive entertainment. Are they a safe place? When you are honest about your fears, do they weaponize your confession in future arguments? Do they amplify your insecurity to maintain control? Safety is fruit. Peace creates rooms where shame cannot speak fluent language. Are they a truth teller? Can they tell you a hard thing without cruelty? And can you hear it without collapse? If truth is an illegal immigrant in your relationship, peace will never get citizenship. I want to speak to your role in this audit. Fruit inspection is not suspicion, it is stewardship. You are not a detective looking for dirt. You are a manager looking for data. You owe your destiny due diligence. Your heart is valuable stock. Do not sell shares to a startup with no product, no plan, and great branding. Do the math, audit the months, track the patterns. And yes, bring in the board, the mentors, and community to review the report. If your peace strengthens under review, you are near kingdom order. If your peace dissolves when others read the numbers, you have been subsidizing a counterfeit. Now listen to the transition, because fruit speaks loud, but the deepest test waits in the quiet. After you inspect patterns, you must listen for the witness. What happens when you pray? Does your spirit settle like a lake after wind? Or do you feel a subtle grind, a check you keep overruling? What happens in counsel? Does peace grow stronger under light, or do you grow defensive and theatrical? What happens in the word? Do the pages affirm your pace, or do they expose your pretense? What happens in silence? Do you exhale, or do you need noise to drown conviction? We will go there next, but settle this policy in your heart before we cross that line. Peace is proven by fruit, consistency, and responsibility, not by romance and apologies. If they bring fruit, honor it, join it, multiply it. If they bring heat with no harvest, stop donating your destiny to drought. Your future is too expensive to feed on fantasies. Inspect the fruit, protect your peace, and prepare to consult the deepest witness, the spirit inside you who will not lie. Write this word down. Witness. Be careful with it. The witness is the Spirit's testimony inside your conscience, agreeing with the King's order. The witness is not a mood, it is a verdict. It is the inner court where truth sits as a judge and peace is the confirmation stamp. Hear me, God's peace is not allergic to investigation. It welcomes light. Real peace says, turn on the lights, bring the board in, ask the hard questions. Sit with God until the noise drains. If your so-called peace needs dim rooms, fast words, and hurry, that is not peace. That is panic with perfume. Let me teach you a policy. Peace survives scrutiny. Counterfeit calm collapses under counsel. The apostle instructs us to test things to prove what is good. Test means you put weight on it, pressure, process, patience. If it is kingdom, it strengthens under load. If it is counterfeit, it whines, isolates, and demands you silence the auditors. So write this line and make your mouth cooperate with your mind. If it cannot stand the light, it is not right. Say it again, louder. If it cannot stand the light, it is not right. Now the disturbance principle. Disturbance is the interruption of rest. Peace produces rest. Warnings disturb it. When you pray and you keep losing rest, that is not spiritual warfare you should ignore. It may be divine warning you must heed. Some of you are rebuking the devil while the Spirit is restraining your desire. You say, every time I pray, I feel uneasy, so I stop praying. That's like seeing smoke and turning off the fire alarm because the sound annoys you. The alarm is mercy. The unrest is protection. Do not medicate what God sent to motivate. Let me cross-examine you. When you pray about them, does your spirit settle like a lake after wind, or does it ripple with a persistent undertow that refuses to quit? Do you need to add soft music, low lights, and a memory of last night's romance to convince yourself you have peace? Or can you sit in raw silence and still exhale? Do you feel pushed to move faster than your convictions, or patient enough to wait until your assignment and your boundaries can breathe? Peace is patient. Pressure is predatory. Now the counsel test. Peace is not offended by wise people. Peace invites seasoned eyes. When you bring the relationship before mentors who fear God and love you, what happens? Does your peace grow stronger under light, or do you grow defensive and theatrical? Do you start building a case against the very people who have covered your life for years? Be honest. Do you pre-coach your partner on what to say so they appear teachable, then punish them later for telling the truth? Counterfeit peace always resents referees. It says they don't understand our love because isolation is its oxygen. Real peace says these are the people who will help us succeed. Name your counselors, not God and me, who can call you at midnight and say slow down, and you actually slow down. I'm going to ask aggressive questions. Don't get quiet on me. When a mentor asks for clarity, do you provide data or drama? When they recommend pace, do you submit or shop for another opinion that blesses your bias? Have you changed your calendar, your boundaries, your communication standard because counsel spoke, or did you only change your captions? If your peace requires you to block elders, mute truth tellers, and label accountability as control, you are protecting a counterfeit. Now the light test. Light is visibility over time. Peace loves the sun because it has nothing to hide. Can this relationship survive? Public clarity, names known, timelines defined, policies documented, expectations agreed, accountability empowered? Or does it flourish only in twilight? We're private, we're still figuring it out. People be jealous while months pass and standards erode. Do details line up when retold, or does your story keep changing depending on who asks? If you have to edit your testimony to keep your relationship alive, you are not in love, you are in PR. Say it again. If it cannot stand the light, it is not right. Let me add time as a form of light. Time is the slow lamp that reveals what speed hides. Lust hates time. Manipulation hates time. Peace is patient because purpose needs process. If waiting a few months to align with order feels impossible, ask what appetite is driving your urgency. Is it purpose, or is it fear that if you pause, the performance will end and the actor will leave? Time will test fruit and motive. Peace will mature. Pretense will melt. I want to pastor your gut for a moment. That subtle grind you keep overriding, what if that is the Spirit saving you from expensive tears? That heaviness you only feel after you leave the apartment, what if that is God pulling your soul back from a cliff? Stop calling conviction negativity. Stop baptizing anxiety as the enemy is attacking our love. The enemy doesn't attack lust, he rents it. He doesn't need to fight your secrecy, he thrives off it. Peace doesn't need you to hide. Peace asks you to open the curtains. Let me speak to your habits. Do you pray before you go, or only after you fall? Do you text your board when you feel a pull, or do you disappear and return with repentant speeches? Do you invite your mentors into your calendar, or do you invite them only to your emergencies? Kingdom order is proactive, not reactive. Set prayer windows that are non-negotiable. Journal the checks you feel and the words you hear, then submit them to counsel. Put dates on recommendations and proof on follow-up. Give light a chance to work and watch peace either bloom or bleed. Now to those who are resisting me, but Pastor, I feel peace when I'm with them. You may feel relief, not peace. Relief is when the craving is fed. Peace is when conviction is pleased. Relief comes from escape. Peace comes from alignment. Relief fades when the room empties. Peace follows you home and tucks you into rest. If being with them makes you mute your conscience and avoid your community, you are not at peace, you are on parole. One violation away from another sentence of regret. Counterfeit peace always builds a bunker. It's us against the world. It demands secrecy, resents questions, calls oversight, nosy, and paints anyone who disagrees as a hater. It uses spiritual words to cover unspiritual behavior. We prayed and felt led, but will not show the receipts of counsel, process, or obedience. It collects private promises and rejects public policies. It thrives in shadows. Do not romance the dark and then curse the bruises. Bring it to the light and watch what lives and what dies. I want you to practice a confession right now, because your mouth must train your heart. Say it. If it cannot stand the light, it is not right. Again, one more time, so your preferences bow to principle. If it cannot stand the light, it is not right. God's peace does not fear prayer or counsel. It grows stronger under light. And if when you shine the light, something hisses and runs, Do not chase it. Let it go. You just saved your destiny a debt it could not afford. We are about to expose the most common bondage pattern, the relationship sustained by silence and self-betrayal. That is where many of you are bleeding. You keep them by gagging your conscience and firing your board. You fund the fantasy with lies you tell yourself. We are going to turn on the lights in that room. Because when peace leads, you do not have to lose you to keep them. And if keeping them keeps costing you, we will call it what it is, next bondage, and we will tear its contract in the name of order, boundaries, and obedience. Write this word down. Bondage. Be careful with it. Bondage is when a bond becomes a cage. Bondage is the tie that steals your time, your truth, and your testimony. Bondage is any relationship you must maintain by losing yourself, by silencing conviction, by shrinking your assignment, by renting your soul to their mood. Peace is order. Bondage is orbit. You revolve around their appetite, their schedule, their silence, and you call it love. It is not love. Say this with me. Until your memory obeys. If staying requires self-betrayal, you are not in peace. You are in bondage. Again, louder so your excuses can hear you. If staying requires self-betrayal, you are not in peace. You are in bondage. Let me define it plain. Bondage is any arrangement where the price of together is the death of integrity. It is love maintained by self-erasure, constant anxiety, and repeated value violations. It is smiling in public and shaking in private. It is negotiating with your conscience to keep access to their attention. It is explaining their disrespect as stress and your panic as passion. Bondage needs secrecy to breathe. Peace needs light to live. Now the indicators. I'm going to list them like an audit. Don't get quiet on me. If your stomach is tight more than it is still, you are not in peace. If you walk on eggshells, managing tone, timing, and truth, because honesty costs you affection, that is bondage. If you bargain with your conscience just this once, we almost engage, God knows my heart, that is bondage. If you hide messages, delete threads, rename contacts, use apps that disappear your sins, that is bondage. If you tolerate disrespect, sarcasm that cuts, jokes that shame, silent treatment that punishes because you fear losing them, that is bondage. If you accept crumbs, late night access but no daytime honor, body requests but no public clarity, we're complicated but never covenant bondage. If you must keep your mentors out, your family uninformed, your community at a distance to protect the relationship, you are protecting a prison. Let me interrogate your phone and your calendar. Do you put your device face down when they call so your friend won't see? Do you delay answering texts when you're with your board, but respond in seconds when they summon you? Do you plan your prayers around their appetite? Do you speed through devotion because their notification ding feels more sacred than God's whisper? Who is discipling your schedule, purpose, or panic? Peace does not demand you betray your rhythms. Bondage makes you apologize to your destiny for being late. I need to confront a sickness in the soul, addiction to chaos. Some of you don't know how to receive peace because anxiety has become your definition of love. The butterflies you brag about are not romance, they are withdrawal. You mistake adrenaline for chemistry. You think calm is boring because your nervous system only recognizes roller coasters. Hear me, kingdom. Peace is not dull, it is stable. Stability is not punishment, it is protection. Sugar is exciting, it also rots the teeth. Fast love is thrilling, it also fractures the soul. Have you become a thrill junkie calling anxiety passion? Do you miss them most after a fight because the makeup chaos feeds your need to feel? That is not love, that is bondage to drama hormones. Who are you when you're with them? I'm asking you, answer it in your notes. Do you like the person you become? Do you recognize yourself? Are you louder with lies and quieter with truth? Are you kinder to them and crueler to you? Are you generous with your body and stingy with your boundaries? Are you braver on their bed and broken in your prayer closet? Do you disappear from your assignment to man their emergencies? Do you betray your future self to buy a few hours of present validation. If the you with them is a stranger to the you God called, you are not in peace. You are lost in a persona that was built to keep a person. Let me press the mirror closer. Who have you fired to keep them? Did you fire your mentors? Did you mute your sister? Did you ghost your pastor? Did you resign from service because your weekends turned into secret hotels and your mornings turned into shame? Are you paying a subscription to sin with your clarity, your sleep, your money, your name? Are you editing your testimony so the timeline doesn't expose the truth? Are you buying gifts you cannot afford to bribe their temper into tenderness? Are you performing okay at gatherings while your eyes keep checking the door, fearing they'll walk in with someone else? That is not peace. That is prison with perfume. I'll give you more indicators. Write them fast. You keep score of wrongs but never cash them. You use the ledger only to manipulate. You apologize for their behavior to your friends as if you are their attorney. You've become public relations for private rebellion. You experience physical intimacy as the bill you must pay to prevent abandonment. You trade covenant standards for counterfeit security. You receive apologies as monthly rent on a vacant promise. You interpret their jealousy as love, though it isolates you from everyone who tells you the truth. You rehearse leaving, but your fear of the unknown is stronger than your memory of pain, so you stay and call it loyalty. You have normalized disrespect so deeply that kindness makes you suspicious. All of it bondage. Now I must protect you with a hard sentence. If staying requires you to keep crucifying your convictions while resurrecting their excuses, you are worshiping an idol you built out of loneliness. That idol will demand more sacrifices, your joy, your progress, your name, until you are unrecognizable. This is where deliverance begins. Call it what it is. Not complicated, not a season, not they're working on themselves. Call it bondage. Say it again, louder than your denial. Bondage. What is the kingdom pathway out? I will give you the first 3 steps as a protocol you can start tonight. First, repentance. Repentance is not crying. It is a change of mind that produces a change of management. You repent to God for idolatry, elevating a person above his order, and for betraying the assignment he trusted you with. You say, King, I have called panic love and secrecy protection. I renounce it. I return to your rule. Second, boundaries. Boundaries are the borders of peace. You define access by principle, not by pressure. You set no contact windows that are non-negotiable. You end overnight visits. You refuse digital doors that open at midnight and swallow you by dawn. You return keys that are not yours. You recover keys. You gave away keys to your time, your body, your money, your platforms. You empower your board mentors, pastors, truth tellers with visibility into your calendar, your communication, your decisions. Third, courageous decisions. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is obedience bigger than fear. You make the call. You write the closing statement. You meet in daylight with witnesses. Or you send a clean boundary note that removes confusion. You block numbers that have become portals to your weakness. You delete archives that keep you nostalgic for your prison. You schedule counsel. You re-enter service. You put your assignment back on the calendar. You do not wait for clarity to feel warm. You act because truth is clear. I know the voice that is whispering to you right now, but what if I lose them? If keeping them keeps costing you, you lose them to find you. Listen to the King. When you lose what is unrighteous for his sake, you gain life. You are not losing love. You are losing a leash. You are not losing destiny. You are losing distraction. You are not losing your future. You are forfeiting a familiar cage. And yes, there will be grief. Grief is not a sign you made the wrong decision. It is proof you are detoxing from counterfeit comforts. Cry if you must, but cry free. I will not leave you with poetry. I will leave you with a policy. From this day, your heart, your time, your body, your name will no longer be subsidizers of someone else's rebellion. Your peace is too expensive to rent to chaos. Your assignment is too sacred to share with a saboteur. If staying requires self-betrayal, you are not in peace, you are in bondage. Say it again, until your muscle memory submits. If staying requires self-betrayal, you are not in peace, you are in bondage. We have diagnosed it. Next, we will administer the full kingdom protocol, order, boundaries, obedience. But tonight, make the first move, name the prison, renounce the lease, and take your keys back. Peace is waiting at the door you keep locked from the inside. Unlock it with repentance. Guard it with boundaries. Walk through it with courage. Write this word down. Protocol. Be careful with it. Protocol is the official procedure of a government. It is how a kingdom moves from chaos to order. When peace is absent, you do not improvise feelings, you implement protocol. Hear me, the kingdom response to missing peace is not denial. It is order, boundaries, and obedience. Say that with me so your habits can hear your mouth. Order, boundaries, obedience. Again, order, boundaries, obedience. If you are waiting for a mood to rescue you, you will stay a hostage to moods. Protocol is not a mood, it is a map. Step one, stop negotiating your convictions. Close the debate. Your standard is not a suggestion. You do not edit righteousness to keep romance. When you keep adding but and until and one last time, you are not discerning, you are bargaining with your bondage. Conviction is not a committee. It does not need a second opinion. State your principle in writing. State it out loud. I do not give my body for promises. I steward my body for covenant. I do not hide relationships. I submit them to counsel. I do not break my prayer life for their schedule. I set my schedule by my assignment. Every time you say it, you tighten the bolt on your freedom. Every time you negotiate it, you loosen the hinges on your prison door. Step two, slow down. Speed is the friend of deception. Counterfeits flourish when you move too fast for facts to keep up. If peace is missing, pace is your medicine. Pause the escalations, gifts, trips, private overnights, merging calendars, shared bills, shared passwords. Pause it. Time is a referee. Let time blow the whistle on which your hormones keep applauding. If the relationship cannot breathe at a slow, honest pace, it is not suffocating from a lack of passion. It is choking on a lack of purpose. Slow is not cold. Slow is sane. Slow makes room for truth to arrive on time. Step three, restore boundaries. Boundaries are the borders of peace. Draw them in daylight. Physical boundaries, public places, public hours, public honor. No overnights. No, I just fell asleep here again. No dark rooms with desperate worship songs in the background to make sin sound sacred. Financial boundaries. No shared debts. No guilt-funded gifts. No rental of your stability to subsidize their irresponsibility. Digital boundaries. Phone off at sanctified hours. No midnight portals. No secret apps. No erased threads. Access boundaries. Access is earned by consistency, not urgency. If they call you 3 times at midnight, they don't need your attention, they need your policy. You are not rude for protecting peace. You are wise for protecting assignment. Step 4, invite counsel. Don't get quiet on me. Name your board. Who has authority to ask questions and expect answers? Not fans, mentors, not peers who sin like you, elders who fear God. Share the whole picture. Names, timelines, intentions, weaknesses, previous failures. Give them the right to say, not yet, or not this, and watch if your heart grows relieved or rebellious. If your partner calls counsel nosy, if they refuse a daylight meeting with people who love you, if they want you isolated from those who built you, write this in your notes. When they resist counsel, they are confessing their plan. Kingdom relationships don't hide from referees. They initiate them. Step 5, return to spiritual disciplines. Peace is a byproduct of alignment. You cannot keep skipping prayer and expect discernment to stay sharp. You cannot starve yourself of the word and expect your motives to detox. Rebuild daily prayer windows, morning and evening. Fast to break cravings that have become lords. Re-enter corporate worship. Your voice needs the sound of a righteous community. Serve again. Service breaks self-obsession and resets your chemistry. The practices you abandon to entertain a counterfeit must be reinstated to recover your peace. God will not give you a peace that blesses disobedience. He gives peace as the fragrance of obedience. Now, I'm going to hand you language for courageous conversation. Not begging, not threats, policy. You will say, I am ordering my life by conviction. If we are to continue, we will do so with clarity and accountability. I require three things: clarity about what we are, commitment to a process that honors God, and a timeline for responsible decisions. Then you define them. Clarity. We are not a mystery. We are intentional. We will not hide. We will be known by people who protect us. Commitment. We submit to counsel. We keep physical boundaries. We honor calendars that prioritize God's assignment. Timeline. By this date, we will decide to pause or to pursue covenant pathways with family and mentors engaged. No drift, no fog, no forever limbo. Hear me, do not threaten, do not grovel. Policy is not panic. You are not asking for charity. You are inviting partnership under order. Ask precise questions. Don't romance ambiguity. These 5, what are we? Where are we going? Who covers us? When do we make necessary decisions? How will we handle temptation and conflict under accountability? Write them and ask them without shaking. If the answers are essays of emotion with no dates, no names, no structure, you have your answer. If they keep giving you poetry but never a plan, you are not a partner, you are an audience. Now the consequences. Because protocol without consequence is just a speech. If they resist order, they are confessing intention. Their intention is access without responsibility. If they resist boundaries, they are confessing appetite. Their appetite is bigger than their fear of God. If they resist counsel, they are confessing isolation. Isolation is the incubator of manipulation. If they resist timeline, they are confessing a contingency plan. You are not the only door they are testing. Believe people when they testify by behavior. Stop editing confessions into fantasies. I must pastor your will right here. Stop blaming soul ties while choosing disobedience. Stop calling it a spirit when it is a schedule. Ties are strengthened by repeated exposure, secret conversation, and disordered touch. You are not only tied, you are tying. Cut the rope by cutting the pattern. Deliverance is not just a prayer line, it is a policy life. Choose alignment and let peace return. Alignment means you do what you already know, not what you hope you can manage. Delete the archives, block the portals, cancel the trips, move the furniture if you must so you stop falling in the same room. Obedience is the scissors, use them. Let me give you a 24/72/7 policy to get you moving. In 24 hours, write your convictions, inform your board, schedule a counsel session, send one clean boundary note that ends fog and removes midnight access. No essays, 3 sentences of order, no emotion. In 72 hours, meet with counsel, review your boundaries, reestablish prayer windows on a fasting day, re-enter one act of service that gets you out of your head and back into purpose. In 7 days, evaluate fruit under light. Did clarity increase or did conflict expose reality? Did they lean into order or ghost you until your resolve got tired? If pushback, manipulation, or silent treatment escalates, institute separation with dignity, not to punish them, but to protect peace. Separation is not hate, it is honor for your assignment. Leaders, single men, single women, take responsibility for your life. You are not a hostage, you are a steward. Your time is a national asset of heaven's government. Stop leasing it to confusion. Make a rule and keep your own rule. If you break your own policy, your enemy doesn't need to tempt you. You are tempting yourself. When you keep a policy, peace increases authority in your heart. You sleep, you focus, you produce. Your assignment thanks you. I want you to memorize a simple sequence: order before access, clarity before closeness, covenant before intimacy. Say it again: order before access, clarity before closeness, covenant before intimacy. Anyone who tries to reverse that sequence is trying to reverse your destiny. They will ask for intimacy without covenant, closeness without clarity, access without order. Refuse politely. Peace is your security system. Do not disarm it to entertain company. We are closing this section by reframing peace. Peace is not a spa day. Peace is a soldier posted at the borders of your calling. Peace is God's gift and God's guard. When he withholds peace, he is sounding the alarm that something is out of order. Thank the alarm, fix the order, set the boundaries, obey the instruction, then watch courage returns, clarity returns, sleep returns, and love grows up under light. When peace is missing, the kingdom response is not denial, it is order, boundaries, and obedience. If you practice the protocol, you will not need to beg for love. You will build a life where love can live without costing you your soul. Say this with me. We're going to brand it on your conscience. God's peace is his protection. Real love will never demand that you disobey God to keep a person again. Louder so your history can hear you. God's peace is his protection. Real love will never demand that you disobey God to keep a person. One more time. Like a policy you intend to enforce. God's peace is his protection. Real love will never demand that you disobey God to keep a person. Now let me separate the lookalikes so your discernment stops being fooled by costumes. Counterfeit peace hides, kingdom peace clarifies. Counterfeit peace makes you secretive. Kingdom peace makes you accountable. Counterfeit peace sedates. Kingdom peace strengthens. The fake says, shh, don't ask questions. The real says, ask 5 of them in daylight with counsel present. The fake numbs your conscience so you can survive the moment. The real equips your courage so you can steward destiny. Peace is not anesthesia, it is alignment. Peace is not the absence of noise, it is the presence of order. When God is leading a relationship, you don't need to dim the lights to feel okay. You can flip all the lights on and still feel at home. I want to challenge you now. No excuses, no delay. Identify one place in your life where you have been calling bondage peace. Name it, write it. Is it that late night arrangement you call complicated? Is it the silence you keep because truth would cost you access? Is it the apology cycle you wear like perfume to hide decay? Call it, then ask one royal question. What does obedience look like today? Not next month, not when they feel ready, not when your feelings calm down today. Does obedience mean a boundary message? Does it mean inviting counsel? Does it mean ending overnights and reestablishing public hours? Does it mean returning a key or retrieving one you gave away? Obedience is not a poem. It is a policy enacted before panic changes your mind. Don't get quiet on me. I want your mouth to participate with your future. Put your hand on your heart and speak this commitment. I choose God's order over emotional panic. I let peace be the governor of my romantic decisions. I refuse to call bondage peace, and I refuse to call lust love. I will not negotiate my values to maintain access. My destiny is protected by God's peace, and I agree with his protection. Say it again. Until your will hears it. I choose order. I submit to peace. I obey when it is costly. For those of you listening and watching, I want engagement that becomes accountability. In the comments, write 2 sentences. First, my clearest peace signal is, and finish it. Is it steady sleep returning? Is it consistent responsibility over romantic apology? Is it joy under light with no hiding? Second, my clearest bondage signal is, and finish it. Is it secrecy? Is it stomach knots before every conversation? Is it deleting threads, dodging counsel, negotiating standards? Put it there. You are not performing for likes. You are declaring to your community and to your own soul where the lines are. When you name your signals, you build your security system. Let me anchor the whole journey in one last distinction so you can test everything by fruit, not feeling. Peace produces clarity, definitions, timelines, counsel, clean boundaries. Bondage produces fog, shifting stories, moving dates, secrecy, and spiritualized excuses. Peace brings courage. You speak truth without trembling. You make sober plans without threats. You walk away from dysfunction without hate. Bondage brings cowardice. You whisper your convictions in bathrooms and roar your lust in bedrooms. Peace honors your assignment. You serve, you build, you create, you become. Bondage interrupts your assignment. You manage drama. You babysit egos. You apologize to your destiny for being late again. Which world are you living in? Answer like a manager, not a victim. Peace is management. Panic is mismanagement. Hear me, as a father would speak to a son or a daughter, your heart is not a public playground. It is a government facility. Your time is not a toy. It is national currency in heaven's economy. Your body is not a billboard for someone's insecurity. It is a temple under royal lease. Peace is a security detail assigned to protect those assets. When you fire peace to hire chemistry, you invite thieves. When you hire peace and dismiss panic, you empower purpose. Choose your staff wisely. I am going to give you a final maxim, and I want it repeated like a drum in your house. Order before access, clarity before closeness, covenant before intimacy. We said it already, now we seal it. Order before access, say it. Clarity before closeness, say it. Covenant before intimacy, say it. Anyone who argues with that sequence is arguing with your safety. Anyone who resents that sequence is resenting your destiny. Smile and keep the policy. And now the charge. From this night forward, let peace be the governor of your romantic decisions. Not pity, not panic, not pressure. If peace is present, proceed with counsel. If peace is missing, do not invent it with gifts, trips, or touching. If peace weakens when you pray, stop. If peace strengthens under light, proceed in order. If love demands disobedience to stay, it is not love, it is leverage. Lose it and live. If love invites obedience to grow, it is safe. Invest slowly and wisely. We will close where we began. Write this in your journal, your mirror, your phone background, your conversations, your calendar. God's peace is his protection. Real love will never demand that you disobey God to keep a person. Say it with me one last time. For the road, for your future, for your name. God's peace is his protection. Real love will never demand that you disobey God to keep a person. Keep saying it until your appetites bow and your habits agree. Keep saying it until courage stands up and confusion sits down. Keep saying it until peace posts itself like a soldier at the borders of your calling and you finally sleep like a person who is loved by order.